Decided to switch things up a little bit today, and we're going to go on Black Locust North on this. So quite a bit different, but take a look at this hole. So pretty cool setup. We're going to try the tracer out today and see how it goes. Hole one's a pretty nice shot. It's 317 right up the middle. I'm going to try to use the scorch and see how things go. That was a 220-foot throw, and now we've got about 100 feet left of the basket. I'm going to try to use a putter, get it up there. Easy layup. Hole 2 is 276, and I did bring an overstable driver with me today, but I got my Firebird. So Firebird's got a 9-speed on it, and I'm going to throw the sidearm really high, and then when it comes down, it's going to plane out and go flat. And on this hole, I need it to go way, 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 way left. Well, that hit a tree, but we're going to save it anyway. Show you the scenery on this one. So I'm over here in this hole, but as you can see, course goes straight out and then it wraps around left, and I'm right here. So I need something that's going to give me a big, heavy leftward roll. I'm going to throw the Detour. This has got a 5-speed on it, mid-range driver. See if we can get this thing to roll way left. Tell you what, man, the bounces are with me today. Last couple times I played. Good bounce. So I got about a 50-foot putt here. I have to try to wrap around a tree. Nope. All right, well, we're going to go +1 on this hole. So that puts me +1 for 2 so far. So hole 3 is 360. So this is a little bit longer than some of the other ones. And this has a huge right curve on it. But because it's rained, there's a bunch of water at the bottom now. So I've got to try to make this thing, throw it on a slight anhyzer, try to make it wrap all the way to the right. And the basket actually goes uphill again. So I got to try to throw this high straight and then dip it to the right. And of course, I'm throwing the trusty Roadrunner because I love that disc. Oh, why is this game so easy? Too easy. Nice winding all the way down. Swamp on the right. And then you're going to see my disc perfectly placed as it should be. Oh, coming up on my shot here. Let's give you a view of it. Disc on the left, basket on the right. So that was a 320-foot throw. And we've got a 40-foot putt around trees. So let's try to get it. Let's try to go lower again. Trusty putt. Hit the basket. Not today, clown. So we're going to keep it at even, or sorry, +1 after 3. Hole 4 is 244, and this is a fun little shot straight up and then to the right. And I'm going to try to throw the Archer on this one. I bought this in an auction pack. It ended up becoming one of my favorite discs. And this little sucker only has a 5-speed, but man, it goes far. So this should go straight and then just stay right at the end. Too far right. Okay. Well, we're near the swamp. It's not the worst throw in the world. Not the best. Probably went about 200. Now, normally for me, by now I'd be about -2. So at +1, pretty far behind. And I've got a 70-foot putt. That drive was only 190 feet. uphill. So let's make the magic. Yep. Put that one in, and then we're going to stay even for this hole, or sorry, +1. This is another fun little shot on 5. So this is going to be straight up. There's a dip down the middle. And you can see the basket. It's only 238 out. So this hole is extremely aceable, but in all the time I've been playing this course, I've never aced it. So cross your fingers. Hopefully today's the day. No, it just stayed right. Well, I'm going to throw another one because I want to ace it. All right, little fairway driver. We're going to give it a little more distance. For some reason, the archer's not flying right for me today, so let's see what we can do with this. Woo, doggy. Wasn't meant to be. 90-foot putt. We got a 90-foot putt here to try to sink. And I'm edging on him. That's going to be another par. Hole 6 is 242, and this is pretty dead nuts left. So I still have yet to figure out how to throw this hole. But I'm going to try to throw a putter, 242. I think I can get this thing probably 220, 210, 220 most of the way to the basket. The trick is that I've got to try to thread the needle between those two trees. So either I throw a super overstable disc and throw a hard straight and then hope that it dives off, or I throw this putter and see what we can do. And that putter stayed right. So putters can be tricky to throw, but the great part is that because they're pretty stable, you can usually get them to stay on a certain line. But if you want to go on the line that I was just on, the problem is you have to throw it on a hyzer, and I just threw it flat. So on this hole, you know, a nice hyzer, throw it high, let it curve through would be a really nice throw. We've got another 80-foot putt here, and this is another one just through a ton of trees. So I'm going to try to arc this one up to the left and then come down to the right, and then hopefully it'll plane out a little bit, but we'll see. Plane out. Oh, basket. Tricky putt, but we're almost there. Looks like another par on this hole. Hole 7, this is 277, and this is going to go straight up and then curve right again. And of course, this is another Roadrunner. Obviously, I love this disc. Before I had this disc, I used to throw all these holes sidearm, which is not really as good because it'll dive off pretty hard to the right. This way, I can actually come around the rightward curve. So if you've got holes that turn right, highly suggest getting a Roadrunner. It's only a 9-speed, so it's very controllable, and it tends to do what I want it to do. So let's see what we can do. Let's see if this will do what I want it to do. Do what I want you to do. That, tree. Okay, so aside from that tree, that would have been exactly what I wanted it to do, but I'm still not upset about it. Well, that throw itself is only 190 feet, so I've still got a good 90-foot putt here. Doing the trusty putter. I've got some difficulty because there's some tree on the right, so normally I'd like to go right with this putt and then make it go in. And actually, you know what? I'm going to switch up discs a little bit. So this is this is a glitch. It's a hybrid disc that's designed for putting, but also for playing catch. It's a lot of fun, but it throws a lot more like a frisbee. And this one won't. This one will die off a little faster. So let's see if I can get this one to go where I want it. Yeah, right next to the basket. That's another par. So hole 8's another short shot. This is 241, and this guy wraps straight up and then around to the left. So I'm going to try, I've got this disc. I'm trying out a bunch of new discs, but the buzz is pretty good for long rolling throws. So I'm going to try to throw this on a hyzer and make this go, you know, swoop around to the left, hopefully get near the basket. Get around the tree. That might be where I want it. Let's see where that guy went. I did accomplish that long rolling left that I was looking for. And it went generally kind of where I want it, but I've got this putt left. And again, I'm right behind these nice trees over here. So I've got this little channel to try to thread it through. It's gonna be a putter. I always get a little claustrophobic when it comes to putting between trees. Like I can't throw left and right. It's not really gonna impact it, but no, it's just a thing I've got psychologically. So breathe in, breathe out. So part that one, hole number 9, we're halfway done. This is 255, so easily gettable with the Roadrunner. And the only reason I'm gonna throw Roadrunner on this is that basket is actually directly beyond that spiky tree in the middle, the Christmas tree. So that tree actually used to be a lot smaller, like 10 years ago. But so the goal then is I'm gonna try to throw this high left, and then the Roadrunner should swoop it in down to the right. The difficulty with this is it's kind of deceptive because it's 255, but I'm lower than the basket right now. So I'm gonna have to throw a little bit of extra height on this one too. That certainly got the height. Holy cow. Some days the discs fly like you want them to. Some days the discs fly like they want to. So obviously not the throw I was looking for. Really, really high, really far left. We're still in the fairway, but we've got another, I'd say 70-foot putt. So that means I only threw that thing like 180 with that big dive off right at the end. So let's get a birdie. How about that? We haven't had any birdie. Get in. So 10 is 244, and this hole is totally blind. So it's going to go straight up and then do a hard right. And I'm going to attempt to chuck this Archer again. Because it stays right so well, there's no dive off to the left at the end. But I'm not throwing this disc well today, so let me see. I can throw it. What am I talking about? I can throw this disc well. This is a piece of plastic. Just a piece of plastic. I can throw this well. All right, we're going to go straight and then dive right. Come on, plastic. Fly. Nope, didn't throw it well. That's maybe when you know you've gone crazy, when you start talking to your discs. There is my shot. You know, if I had to put a feeling behind it, I think I'm actually nervous about throwing the Archer. Like I'm trying to throw it on an anhyzer instead of letting the disc do its thing. So I'm just gonna try for a little punch shot here. See if we can get it straight through. And we do. Yep. And that'll be another par. It's just like the Archer is a really good straight disc and it stays right, but I think I keep trying to throw it on an anhyzer. It's causing me issues. Decided this is not the gimme putt that I thought it was, so I'm gonna actually putt it. Well, I putt them all, but I'm gonna actually record it. I actually really like this hole. It's 224 uphill. We're gonna try for the Archer again. Got a 40-foot putt here. 40-foot putt. This is hole 12, and this is the last easy hole that exists on the North Course. So this one also goes straight and then to the right. I've been struggling with my Archer all day, and just realized it's because I'm trying to throw it on an anhyzer, but it's such an understable disc that no matter what I do, it always wants to go right. So I think I'm going to get it together on this hole, and I think this is going to go nice. We're going to throw it totally flat, and it's going to have a nice right curve, and you're going to see it disappear just behind that ridge, and it's going to be close, if not in the basket. It was 180 feet, and I've got a 50-foot putt here. Get in. Ah, my soul. All right, you little turd. Get in there. Stay in there. we're coming up on hole 13, and 13 is where it gets dramatically more difficult. And this hole is really interesting because I actually didn't know how to throw this hole for a long time, and I went and played with a buddy of mine recently, and he's like, yeah, it's just like this. And I've never gotten like less than a 4 on this hole ever. And he goes, I birdie it most of the time. Okay, well, show me how to do that shot. So I'm going to attempt to do that shot. So the only way to throw this hole is you'll see this big stump right in front of me that's all chewed up because everybody hits it. And so when you throw this, you want to try to throw it really, really high, pretty intense anhyzer, and you've got to get enough loft on it that right at the end it's going to plane out because it's an early elbow and then a long stretch all the way down there. So the attempt is going to be high, throw it right, and this is a 334-foot hole. And we got a tree. I mean, it's almost, this hole is like such a shot in the dark. It's just littered with trees all the way through. So, but there is a straight line. Managed to hit it far up and left and then wrap it right. But right now I've still got like 200 feet. I'm going to go back to the Archer on this one because I refuse to give up on the Archer. But I mean, this is a long throw through a bunch of trees, so I got to thread this thing just right. All right. And that might be just right. Right. Got it. All right. Well, we barely squeaked out a 3 there, but I'm happy about it. That was a nice putt. I'll take that. Hole 14 is only 221, but it's probably the second trickiest hole on this course, so, or on the north. So the one we just played is the trickiest, and then this one is just littered with trees, and there's no good line through it. So the only way I found to get through it is I literally try to thread. I throw it straight at that clump of trees in front of me, try to get it to wrap slightly left, and then dive right. And so the Athena is the sidearm disc for that. And when I throw this, I always try to drop it down a little bit and flip it up. I'm just not as practiced with my sidearm anymore because I throw the Archer so much, but I'm confident this disc is going to go well. Left, and then dip right. All right, so I left myself with probably, let's say maybe 100-foot putt. I don't know. We'll see where we are when we're up there. All right, this is a 70-footer. I'm going to try to get my first birdie today. Hole 15, this is 314 straight up, and then it's going to move right. But there's a couple tricky trees in here that block my ability to move. So I'm not giving up on this Archer today. I will throw this. The difficulty is that you got to somehow get it between these 2 trees and then make it roll right, or throw something that's just got a little bit of understable, kind of it's just a tricky throw to throw. Get another really technical hole, but let's see what we can do. All right, so we gotta overpower this to try to get it through. Yeah, I flipped it over. I'm still 170 out, and just pretty much dead nut straight. So I'm gonna throw the pig, and what I hope happens is it's gonna get a straight line. Pig is understable, so it's gonna stay right a little bit. I'm gonna throw it to the left of the basket, and hope that it moves right just a little bit. And I'm actually gonna do a standstill throw and just whip it straight through. Okay. Oh, you turd. Well, in a world of pars, this is not a very long putt. But I've got a tree right next to me that makes it so I can't do my normal turn. So I'm either stuck going left of the tree or trying to move it around hard. I think I'm just going to try to go straight at it. Straight at it. Ah! All right. Come on, little pig. Boom. In. Hole 16. This one is 331. And this one is a hole I enjoy a lot. This is probably, as far as like scenery and complexity, probably one of my favorite ones. So the whole, there's a bunch of trees on the fairway. I'll show you that in a second. But there's one channel you got to make it through. And if you can make it through that with a sidearm, you can curve it to the left and then curve it to the right. And this Firebird is, at least the way that I throw it, is extremely overstable. So I can throw it with a pretty hard leftward turn, and it should dump right pretty hard. Just show you this hole for a second. So there's the channel I was talking about. It's got to go straight through there, left, and then right to get through. Here's my shot, and the basket is directly through that, so I can't see the basket right now. Yeah, I mean, can we just admire that shot for a second? All right, that's a par. Despite my birdieless round, that was a lot of fun. So I finished that +3. So I went par on everything except for one bogey and one double bogey. I think it's a lesson to me not to work out immediately before you go work out, because power output was also down too. So as long as this warm weather holds out, I'm gonna keep hitting it. But meantime, Seacrest out.